Hello, my name is Brittany Chambers, and today I'll be talking to you about adaptive assistive technology. What adaptive and assistive technology is any type of technology that allows students with disabilities, such as physical, learning, or emotional disabilities, to participate in the classroom just like everyone else. These devices and technology can range from huge pieces of equipment that are very expensive to small, very accessible equipment. One of the things I'll be talking to you today about is an AAC, which is an augmentative alternate communication. These are a great example from very complex to very simple. An AAC can be something from a piece of paper and pencil to huge thousands of dollars devices that will speak for the students based on taps or motions that the student gives for them. The one AAC device I will be showing you today is actually on my iPad. So I hope you learn some resources for different adaptive and assistive technology and how they can be used in the classroom.
I have with me today my iPad. And with this iPad, I'm going to go over two apps that you can have for your students to use. One of them is for learning disabilities, and specifically math learning disabilities. And the second one is for a physical disability where the student is not able to communicate with other people. The first one we're going to talk about is Algebra Touch. This app here allows students to work on specific areas that they are having a hard time understanding. It goes all the way down to the basics in algebra, such as addition. So what we have here is we can go to Explain down here at the bottom, and what it does is in this box it'll explain to you. You can add numbers together in any order. The result will always be the same. Tap the plus sign to try it out. So we'll come up here to our problem and we can add whichever order we want to. And in the box it says, nice work. You can practice your skills at any time by tapping practice below. So if the student wants to continue working on this, they can go to practice right here and they'll get another problem. And they can continue working until they fully grasp the concept of addition. If they feel like they are good with this, then they can go down to Explain and go on to Next Lesson. The next lesson is Simplify. Once again, this helps you step by step understand what it means to simplify. So, the box says the things that get added together are called terms. Here, the terms are 1, 3, and 5x. So, what it asks you to do is you can only add terms that are alike. So, for instance, tap the 1 and the 3. And that'll add together to give you 4. Now, try tapping the 4 and the 5x. It won't allow you to do that. This will help students who may have a disability in understanding that these two are not like, and therefore they cannot be added together. And in the box it explains just that. The students can work at their own pace, going to whatever they might have the problem. This one, for instance, is eliminate by crossing out. So, we have this. And what it wants you to do is cross out the 3's to give you 5. If you feel like you need more practice, then you come down here to the practice problem and you can generate problem after problem until you feel comfortable with it. This allows students to get extra practice, and you can differentiate the learning according to what the student needs and not based on when you need to move on to the next lesson.
The Algebra Touch app is great for helping students work on their own. As a teacher, you'll have to know how to spend your time wisely working with individual students. And you may have students come to you in the secondary level who missed huge gaps of education in their elementary. So, as an 8th grade teacher, I know I might have students come to me who do not understand adding terms. So this app would be great to use with those students, how to have them sit aside and just sit here and work with it, because I might not have time to sit down and explain adding to them, but they can get it by working through these apps. Plus, it's on an iPad, and most students love using any type of technology, so if you tell them they get to go work on an iPad, they'll be more excited about having to learn how to add. This is also a great way to try to tie things into their homes. Some students nowadays, their parents have iPads, or they have iPhones, or the parents have iPhones. These apps can be downloaded on both. So that way, not only can you have them working on it in the classroom, but you can send them home to work on it. And another great thing with this is, unlike sending home a worksheet for them, they could spend all night doing a worksheet and not know if they got the right answer. These apps, they will know right then if they're doing it the right way or not. So it's not like they're doing practice and doing it the wrong way. This technology can tell them, no, this is not right. You need to do this differently, and it can explain what they're doing incorrectly. So this type of technology, I feel like, is the best way for teaching rather than just giving worksheet after worksheet, because it truly works with the students and helps explain to them what is going on.
Okay, here is my iPad again, and now we're going to go over the AAC that I was discussing with you at the beginning of this video presentation. And the one I have chosen is called One Voice, and it's the light version. So I'll go over the difference between the light and the pro version. Well, here we have this is the school category, and up here we have different categories. They are needs and wants, friends and family, my day, feelings and emotions, places, home, school, food, greetings, opinions, action words, colors, shape, numbers, and word list. As I was stating before, what AACs do is they help students who may not be able to communicate with other people. So right now we're in the school category. And what is great for this is, say there is a student who is needing to go to the restroom. They can come up here to categories, needs and wants, select I need, go back to the categories, school, and bathroom. So they can raise their hand, the teacher can come by and read, and it says, I need bathroom. So that allows the teacher to know, okay, this student needs to go to the restroom. Without this device, students and teachers may not be able to communicate, and it can get very frustrating for both parties. And whenever the student gets frustrated, learning does not happen. And when the teacher gets frustrated, then instruction is not as good as it can be. So this is a lifesaver for both people. This can also be used in other settings. If you're working on math or any type of subject, you can help them. You as a teacher can come by and pick a color for it, or you can come by and say numbers. For instance, if you wanted the student to come up and do number 7 up on the board, you can put number 7 up there, and they'll understand that you're wanting them to come do number 7. This also allows you can click on the text box up here, and this part pops up. So with older students who can type out what they're wanting to say, that way they can type out exactly what it is, and they can come up here. So if they have a specific question, they can type it out and the teacher can come read. The pictures are more for elementary students who may not be able to type out what they're wanting to say. This is a tool for them to be able to use, knowing how to communicate. So this can be used from K through 12th grade with any student. The difference in between the light version and the pro version is this little button up here. Right now it says purchase One Voice, but if I had it purchased, what it would have is a speaker button. And once they've typed out what they're wanting to say here, they push this button and an automated voice says what they're wanting to say. So with upper level classes, if you ask the student a question, you could probably pose the question and give them a few minutes, and they could type out what they're wanting to say. They could then push the speak button, and that way everyone in the classroom can hear what they're wanting to say. So this is how you could pull in students into classroom discussions and allow them to say what they are wanting to say. With younger students, this could also work if they're able to type out what they're wanting to, or they can do the pictures and pick what they're wanting. So I will help. So if they're wanting to help, they can do that and push the button and it'll communicate. Once again, this is where you would also need, though, to have rules as to when the student can push the button so that it doesn't have classroom management issues. The student will need to understand that they will need to raise their hand before pushing the button. But this is such a great app for allowing students that have physical disabilities to still participate in the class and be just like any other student in the classroom and have that safe feel in the environment.
I just got done showing you the AAC on my iPad, and as I was explaining it, these can be so helpful for any student in the classroom. You know, with students with learning disabilities or physical disabilities, they sometimes get segregated from the rest of the students. And this way, this student is able to communicate with the teacher and can feel like part of the class. And they are part of the class and participating in discussions and being able to ask questions. This is one of those ways to build relationship and trust in your classroom, and it's very key in having a good classroom environment. When trying to implement this into teaching, you would need to make sure to have rules on how to use it, what is appropriate to use this technology, and it can really open up a huge door to having these students get involved and participating in the classroom. Just as the teacher, you need to be aware of what can be done with it, where to find these resources. A great place is just to look on your computer and do search engines and look for them. For me, I got on my apps and plugged in AAC into my iPad apps, and this came up. Make sure you search, though, because it took me a while to find this one, which was free. If you don't know what you're doing, you can spend so much money. So make sure you search and find the right thing for your class. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation today. As a teacher, we are all trying to create a classroom environment that every student can learn in. And with these adaptive and assistive technologies, every student can participate and can learn in your classroom. The teacher just must know what technology is out there and what is available to them. I have showed you 2 resources for math learning disabilities and for communication disabilities. But that is not the limit. There is so much more out there for ELL students or for other physical disabilities or visuals, any type of thing. They have resources for them. You can find these by searching on the internet or searching through your apps on your iPads. You can go to your local places such as Arkansas Support Network program. They would love to share with you information that they had. At your schools, your special ed teachers will work with this stuff on a daily basis and can give you more guidance on what is the best tools to use for students and with certain disabilities. So just make sure you know where to look, and that you know that it is very important that your students be able to participate and have this technology available for them to participate in your classroom. Thank you.